Hello everyone, I'm Kim and welcome to my sewing room. Today I have a big smile on my face because I have finally finished the Cavalcade bag. Now this bag has been in my pattern stash for quite a while. I bought her back in 2022. I put her on my Make 923 list and she never got made, and I put her back on my Make 924 list because I was so determined to make her this year. Now, when I decided to make her, I was going to make her for myself in tulip pink fabric because, as you know, her fabric is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, and I thought it would make up a really nice travel bag. And I came across some fabric which made me change my mind about making this for myself, and it was this fabric here, and I found this on the website called Lovely Jubbly, and it's London to Hogwarts, so all of you Harry Potter fans out there will recognise that. And I decided that I would make a travel bag for my daughter. And I also thought I can't make just one for Rachel, I would also have to make one for my son's girlfriend Danny, because both Rachel and Danny are mad about Harry Potter. So I also bought some additional fabric with the Ron Weasley jumper on, so you can see this is some of the fabric that's going to be used in the second bag. So as well as the main fabric, I bought some, it's called Bumbleberries. So I bought some Bumbleberries fabric from Wool Warehouse in the black and the yellow. Yellow is one of my daughter's favourite colours, so I have stayed with this colour theme of yellow and black and the Harry Potter fabrics. And I also found on the Wool Warehouse site this sort of in the same sort of theme. It's all these lotions and potions, things like wolf's teeth, lizard's teeth or lizard's breath, mice brains, spider's legs, toad wart. So in the same sort of thing, so I thought this would make quite nice lining. So those are all the fabrics that I have worked with and will continue to work with making the second bag. So as well as the fabrics, I also needed to make sure that I had all of the fusible or interfacing in. So I have the Soft and Stable. So this is Soft and Stable I use, and I usually buy it in this quantity, so it's a nice big bag of Soft and Stable, and I buy that from a company called Oh So Sweet, and I just find it's more economical buying it in a large bag like this. And I use this on small cosmetic bags and cushions, so I have used it quite a bit in the past. And as you can see from not just the main bag there, I have also quilted, so both of these bags have been quilted, so I use the Soft and Stable on the back, and it just makes it all soft and squishy. So with that interfacing, the pattern also recommended that you use something called Shape Flex 101. So I had some of this Shape Flex 101. I don't have much of this left, but this is just a little bit firmer than the usual stuff you would put in a shirt, and I have used this quite a bit in my cosmetic bags and also to back the back of my cushions, so I've used that quite a lot as well. The only interfacing that she recommended that I haven't used before is the Pelham Peltex. So this is Pelham Peltex. You can see it's a lot firmer. It's still quite bendy, and this is what I've used in the first bag. Now, she also recommended, as an alternative to the Peltex, Decaville Heavy. Now, I do have a tiny little bit of this in my stash, and this is definitely a lot firmer, and I quite like this. So I don't know whether to buy some of this for the second bag, so I will see. So they're all of the interfacing, and everything was going along swimmingly, because I was pulling everything together. And I did get to a point where I had mentioned it quite a few times in my videos, and I thought I really do need to start working on it. So I ordered quite a bit of other stuff that I needed for it, and I made the mistake, and I shouldn't have done this, and I made the mistake of working on the bag and only doing the bits I could do because I had the stuff in my sewing room to do it. So I was racing ahead and doing things like the handles and the sort of luggage sleeve here, sits at the back. So I was just doing all the things I could, and then when stuff came in, I would then go back and work through the instructions again. And I think what I did is I just confused myself, because the biggest mistake I have made, and I have made mistakes on this bag, was that I could not, for some reason, I could not figure out which interfacing should be fused onto which pieces of the fabric. Now, saying that, now I've finished it and I've read the instructions again, it's all crystal clear. And I don't know why I couldn't figure it out when I was working on this bag, but I think it's because I was just going back and forth. And I waited for quite a lot of some of the notions that I needed to make this bag. So I think what I was doing, I was probably missing out valuable pieces of instruction from the pattern, that if I'd actually worked through it from page one and worked through it as a gradual process, it would have been a lot easier. I even went to the extent of purchasing the tutorial from So Sweetness, where this pattern comes from, purchasing the tutorial, and to be honest, that didn't help, because I'd already set in my mind how it should go together, and I just got myself confused. But now I've made it, so I'm considering this as a twirl. So this is a twirl of the travel bag. So, and I have learnt a lot from making this bag, and I would say hats off to anybody who makes bags, because this has really tested me, because it's tested me in the fact of having to read a paper pattern, because all of you out there that make clothes, you know what we're like. We know how to do most of it because we've done it over and over again, and we seem to just skim through the instructions and move on. But really, when you're making something like this for the first time, you really do need to read the instructions and absorb them before you sort of action them. And so I think the biggest mistake I made was just going too far ahead and coming back, and I was all over the place. But she's finished, and I'm quite pleased with her. So I'm going to show you her. I'm just going to go through a few of the other notions that I bought to make her up, and some of these things I have never ordered before. So like the Peltex interface, and I haven't used that before, so that was a new experience. And I haven't ever had to order hardware before. So I found this company called Bobbin Girl, and I've managed to get this beautiful hardware. So that's a triangle ring. Still learning the terminology. So that's a triangle ring, so I had to get a few of those. Also had to get a slider, and these are beautiful quality. They're so shiny, and they're just really nice quality. Very pleased with them. And I got a few of these as well, these sort of swivel claw hooks. So as well as the bag, I did make a strap for her, and the strap is optional, so you can make a strap, but I think you really do need to make it, because she has the triangle rings on the side for the strap. So I should make a second one of those, and you can always store that in the large compartment at the bottom of the bag. So I think that is most of the notions. And last of all, I bought this huge selection of zips, because I really wasn't too sure at the time, when I was thinking about the colour theme, how I was going to build it up. So I did buy some yellow zipper tape with rainbow teeth, pale blue with pale blue teeth, plain black with silver teeth, and this beautiful like metallic silver with rainbow teeth. And I bought various pawls to go with all of those zippers, and I got them from my usual supplier, zipper station, and I always buy a few meters of each, and all of what I don't use will go into my zipper stash. Right, so let me show you the bag. So here we go. She's lovely. She just makes me smile when I look at her. She really did challenge me, and I did find also with working with because I've got my Benina, I found that the nose of the Benina, it sticks out quite a lot. So I had to try and, when I was sewing her up, it was really difficult to get all of her under the nose of the Benina, and I just had to take it really, really slowly. But I think that is it. Just take your time. Just really take your time. And sometimes when I would go around something, if the stitching was a bit wibbly wobbly, I would just go around a second time, because it was secure. It was better the second time around, because then I could even out all of those stitch lines. So when I made her up, I used some yellow batik fabric that I had, and I did think it looked a bit wishy-washy, so that's why I then went off and bought the yellow bumbleberries, because I wanted something a bit more striking in the bottom of the bag. So I used that yellow straps, which I don't think is too much of a change from the other fabric. And then I used the main Harry Potter fabric, which I quilted on the front. The pattern also said that you could use rivets for the handles, which I did do, and I had these rivets in my stash, so I was happy to rivet those. So that just gives it a nice sort of, I think, a more sort of professional look. And on the back I have this luggage sleeve, which I thought was quite a nice feature. So when you go off to the airport, you can just stick that on your trolley. And inside, before we go inside, I'll show you all the hardware on the outside. So we have the black zip with the silver teeth on the top, and I bought these little rainbow pawls as well, which I thought were quite sweet. The triangle ring is there, and you've seen the other hardware on the strap. And then inside we have the lining. So we have all of that spell and cast, or cast a spell lining fabric, and it has, the bag has a zipper pocket on both sides. Not easy to show you actually, yeah. So it has a zipper pocket on both sides, and on the zipper pocket I used, let me turn her out a bit, I used the silver metallic with the rainbow teeth and just a plain grey pawl. So when you open the pocket, I've also used the bright yellow batik fabric in the pockets. So in the bottom of the bag I went a little bit off on a tangent, and I Odie coated the bottom panel. Now, the reason why I Odie coated it, because my thinking was that if whoever used the bag, if they wanted to put shoes or makeup in the bottom of the bag, I wanted it to be wipeable, and Odie coat makes the fabric waterproof, so therefore it would be wipeable. So this is the bottom of the bag. So you can see I've used that bumbleberry sunshine yellow, and it's quite striking, and all of this has been Odie coated, so it's all, you can just wipe that down with a damp cloth. So that worked out really well, and this, you can sew through this without a problem at all, but there is absolutely no give in it, so you have to make sure that it's all cut exactly. So that's why when I do use Odie coat, I Odie coat the fabric before I cut out the fabric. So that's the bottom of the bag. So I'm really, really pleased with how that turned out. So the mistakes I made, are totally my fault, because I think I just misread the pattern, and I tried to obviously construct this bag not in the right way, because I was toing and froing, as I mentioned before. But when I bought the sewing tutorial, I did notice that Sarah mentioned when she was going through the tutorial that she used Peltex that wasn't fusible, and mine is, and I understand now why she has used a non-fusible Peltex interfacing, because when she sandwiched her Peltex between the fabric and the shape flex, the Peltex that sits in the middle of that sandwich hasn't got any fusible on, and it just gives the fabric a smoother look, but it also still gives it structure. Now, because my Peltex was fusible and I fused it directly onto the fabric, I got rippling. So let me show you the rippling. Hopefully you can see this. So you can see, so at the bottom of that bag, can you see where the fabric has rippled? And that is just where I have used a fusible Peltex rather than a non-fusible. So I think because I have some of that Peltex still left, when I use it again, I'm going to, instead of fusing it directly onto the fabric, I'm going to fuse it onto the other interfacing, and then just stitch that interfacing, still with the Peltex sandwiched in between, onto the fabric. So I don't get any rippling, but I still get that firmness that Sarah is obviously trying to do with the instructions. So that's my first travel bag. She's lovely. I'm really, really pleased with her. I have been so tempted to show my daughter, but I want her to have a choice. So I'm going to make up the second bag, and the second bag will be made up with this Ron Weasley fabric, which I have already quilted with the Soft and Stable. I have decided with that one I am going to actually line it with the yellow fabric, so it's going to be the internal of the fabric, and I will use the Spell and Cast fabric as the pocket lining, and I will also do the same as I did on this bag. I will use the black bumbleberry fabric for the bottom and the straps, and I'm not too sure what zippers I'm going to use, so I will make a decision with those as I come to it. But I am quite excited about making the second bag, because I also know now how it's instructed and what each of the paper piece names mean and where they fit into the bag's construction. So I'm looking forward to it, because I know that the second bag will come together a lot quicker, and I know how to place the interfacing as well. So watch this space, because you will see a second Cavalcade bag appear in the next couple of weeks. I'm just doing a bit here and there, because I through making this bag, and because it has taken so long to make, I have missed making garments, and I've decided to sort of just make the other bag and do bits here and there, but in between that I'm making some clothes, so you will see those appear within the next couple of videos. So let me know what you think. She was a real challenge, a nice challenge, I must admit. She did sort of push me some days. I could have easily have just walked away, but I was really upset when I saw the rippling inside the bag. But nobody's going to notice it. I doubt if Rachel and Danny will notice any rippling anyway, but you know what it's like when you work closely with something, you notice everything. But yeah, so I am pleased with her, and I'm sure I will get around to making myself a Tula pink bag using this pattern and her beautiful fabrics at some point, maybe later in the year. So I hope you enjoyed the content of this video, and to all my lovely subscribers, thank you for your continued support. And if you aren't a subscriber, it would be lovely if you could join my little group of supporters and subscribe. But in the meantime, have a lovely day, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.